Hi, this is Derek Murphy from Creative Indie. I'm going to talk about why I write, or I write because. I'm going to say something a little bit controversial and unpopular, but I also think it's really important, especially for any authors who might be listening. So, mainly I write for money. And the reason that that's not as sacrilegious or blasphemous as it sounds is that I see money as readers voting with their wallet, what's important to them, what they value. I don't think writing necessarily demands value. So I don't want to ask for handouts or say, I'm writing something amazing and artistic, so therefore the world must support me because I'm benefiting the world, even if nobody's reading my writing. There's actually the myth of the starving artist, which I think is perpetuated by authors who think books that have less readers are more valuable, and that's something we still hear a lot. People have an aversion to authors who are actually making money or have a lot of readers because they think that must be lowbrow art, that must not be good quality. For me, when I started writing or when I started doing art, I was all about listening to my inner muse and trying to create something real and untainted by the marketplace. But I found out that I was making products that nobody wanted, and that I was asking everybody to buy my products anyway, which is what most authors do. And I don't think that should be a mark of not quality, but of value. I think there should be some kind of a system that judges the value a piece of writing has on the world at large. And I think money is a good stand-in, since we don't exactly have a system like that. I think if you are reaching lots of readers and they enjoy your work, they like your work, they're sharing it, then you can expect the money. But you can't expect money to come from you to you because you think you wrote a book that people should like, and you just have to educate enough money so that they have a new awareness for your book. I don't think readers need to be taught to appreciate the books that they like. I think readers should be trusted to choose the books that they want to read. And if you want to make a living as an author, it's your job to provide the goods, to take readers on a journey that's satisfying and that they're willing to pay for. I think there's a relationship inherent in writing. It's not good enough to say, I'm writing this from the heart, and I think this is a really important book. Your book doesn't have any value without a relationship with readers, and it can't be a blind relationship. You can't just give the world something and hope the readers will find it and appreciate it. You need to care enough about your readers to know exactly who they are and to try to find ways to include what their aspirations, their hopes, their likes, belief systems. You have to find a way to include your readers in your writing so that when you finish a book, you know that they will love it because you know who your readers are. A lot of authors, they don't care about the readers so much. They say they love the readers, but they write for themselves and then they hope readers will find it. And then they also say stuff like, even if nobody reads my book, even if I only have one reader in the whole world, that's fine. That's good enough for me. Personally, this is kind of the same argument authors say. They say writing is really hard. Nobody would do writing as a career unless they love it. So nobody would do it. Like if I didn't love it, if I wasn't writing what I wanted to write, I'd rather just be working at a gas station. I disagree. I think writing is the best possible way to make money. I think it's really exciting when I can just think up new ways to kill people all day long and build epic plot structures. It's a huge challenge and it's very enjoyable for me. I don't think it really matters whether you're trying to write. I mean, I started off writing the books that I wanted to write, and they were mostly nonfiction, philosophical things that I thought were, world-changing, but nobody actually read. Now I write fiction novels that a lot of people enjoy, and through my novels, now that they're being read, I can say what I want. I might be able to not intentionally influence, but definitely spread my worldview a little bit because I have a personal relationship with my readers. And if they appreciate my books, if they're reading my content, that's a huge win. The other reason I like to write for money is that having money, being able to make more money as a writer, there's really no limit to your income. So I don't have to just make enough money to pay for my base expenses. The whole point of my platform, Creativity, was that if you are creative enough to make things, you should be able to make an online business that makes more money than you need to survive, which means you can play a much bigger role in society at large. You'll be able to be a provider, not a taker. You'll be able to give more to the things that you believe in because you have been earning more than you, not more than the value you produce, but with fiction, your income is scalable. So I might be able to sell 100 books a day. And then if I do some marketing and promotion, I might sell 200 books a day. That's doubling my income pretty easily, which is amazing. But I could, give $100 a day away to some other cause that I care about, or help out other aspiring authors who are still earlier in the process. Those are some of the reasons that I write. I like saying that I write for money, even though it's unpopular, because I do think you should have a reader-centric goal. I don't think you should be writing with the goal to finish a book. I think that's what most authors' first takes are, is that they just want to finish the book. Personally, I don't think that's thinking big enough. I want to write a book that lots of people read. It doesn't have to be 1 million people, but if 1,000 people read my books, I think that's a huge win for me personally. I know everybody has their own reasons to write, and there are many benefits to writing that have nothing to do with money. And if you're not earning money, it does not mean that your writing is no good or doesn't have any value. It probably just means your focus on the intention that you want your book to have in the world is different than mine. I want to make a living with my writing so I can spend my time doing other things that I think are more important and more valuable. But I know that's a personal choice. I only say this and I bring it up, even though I think it's really unpopular, because there are a lot of authors struggling with finding a readership and making a living online. A lot of authors want to be making a living online, but they refuse to say, I'm writing for the money. They refuse to say, I want to make money with my books. They hope that the money will come somehow, but if you are not trying to accomplish a goal, you're probably not going to get that goal. So making money with your fiction can't be like an accident that you hope you're lucky enough to achieve without actively aiming for that goal. I think it is possible. I think it's great to make money with writing, because basically that just means people are reading and enjoying your books. Your readers are saying they are willing to give you their $3 or $4 per book because they believe in you and they enjoy your work. That's a very gratifying feeling, and it's not just edifying. It's also, what's the word? I want to say affirmative or affirmation, but basically I know that my work is being appreciated by real people to an extent that it's not just people reading thousands of free books. These are people who have read my fiction and now they're willing to pay money for it, which means they're real fans who have I've provided real value, tangible value, improved their lives in some way because of the books that they've read, to the extent that they're willing to pay for more writing. That's why I think writing for money and using money as the verification of how much value your book is providing into the world, I think that's a useful yardstick to measure. It's not the end or the beginning of why most authors write, but I think it's an important thing that most authors aren't going to say publicly, and so that's why I want to get it out there. I'm also going to be donating $100 to the Room to Read organization. I appreciate this campaign that Reedsy has put together, so that's one way I can add a little bit of value to the campaign.